Hi Aries, welcome to the August full moon in Aquarius on the 11th. This is a super moon. It's an intense moon. Let's see what we have in store for you. Okay, your first card is the Three of Pentacles. Again, this is in the placement of what does this full moon have to offer you. Remember that full moons are a closure to a cycle. So the full moon in Aquarius is asking Aries to share. It's really evident with the clarification card here as well. The Three of Pentacles is a apprenticeship card, so you could be learning something new while you're doing it, or teaching somebody what to do. In any case, it's a very cooperative effort. The Six of Cups is sharing is caring card for me. So I do feel like these may be people that you like, they're acquaintances. Six of Cups is also the past coming forward, and so it could be people and situations from the past, things that you didn't finish yet and would like to complete during this phase. Maybe things from further past that you'd like to try again, just to sort of finish out and complete that task or finish that phase. I do feel like there'll be people who are very busy in the house or fixing the house or doing construction. That feels very forward to me. The idea with the three, though, is it's often very creative, and that's why they call it an apprenticeship card, because there's a task involved, or there's a goal in mind. So it's not just fixing up your house. It's about learning something new from people who share with you. Maybe they're sharing with you some instruction and information. But it's a really nice card. I think you'll be quite busy. I think you'll be busy with things of the past. I think that there'll be situations where there is instruction necessary. Was the little panda here. Giving instruction is really sticking out to me. It's coming forward for me at this time. So I do think that there'll be some instruction necessary, or that you will receive it. Again, I do believe that the past comes forward here with this card, but this is also very platonic relationships, very sweet, very kind, very nurturing and caring. But again, you see this this giving and receiving in both of these cards. Somebody's giving the instruction, somebody's doing it or receiving the information. And again, same with this card. Someone is receiving something, and so it's a very sharing card. It's very kind. 3 and 6 are both pretty powerful numbers. 3 is the creative number. 6 is equanimity, balance. And oddly enough, 6 has a lot to do with house and home and hearth. So you could be very busy around the home, doing things around the home, work from out of your home, that sort of thing. But I do see the home very much in focus here. And if it's something that you'd like to learn to do for the home, I do think you'll receive instruction on how you deal with the what's coming on with the full moon, the Eight of Swords. So the Eight of Swords is someone who feels bound through their own mental prison, I would say. This is an interesting card, though, because sometimes you're not supposed to do anything. Sometimes it's not in your hands, which is a little different than the Hanged Man card, because indeed this is more of a mental, with the swords, it's more of a mental aptitude. And so there might be something mentally that you are unable to do, or you don't want to think about it. That's kind of my feeling here. It's kind of like I'd prefer not to think about it so I don't have to do anything about it. And it's kind of pushing away the thought of doing something. And you could also be waiting for a change here, for some ending, but a change in any case. And that might be, you might be waiting for something to end that you might begin something else. It's probably not in your hands, or you can't quite figure out, for some of you, you can't quite figure out how to end it or how to change it, and are a little bit, I wouldn't say confused, but your mental energy is bound. So the 8 is the infinity sign, and that means infinite, abundant energy, and you have bound yours. You have, you're just not feeling at this time that there's anything you can do or actually even want to do. I mean, the little sheep is sticking out his tongue here, so it's a little bit like, meh, I'm not going to do it, don't want to do it, or I'll ignore it for now and either wait for things to change or eventually on its own things change, because that's the cycle of life. So I think that's how you're going to approach this situation here. In fact, you may even give over your energy or your task to somebody else to do it because you don't want to. That's also a scenario I see here. There's something that you prefer not to do. So maybe you're the one telling him, hey, this is what I want done on the house, or this is what I need to be done in this area, whatever that might be. Okay. I do want to point out here that he's standing in like a puddle of water. So there is some emotion involved here. And it's one of the things that is keeping you mentally bound. And again, with the 8 of Swords, it's a your own doing if you prefer not to move forward or not to take action. And sometimes there's not that opportunity. We're unable to do it for whatever reason. So it could be you stopping yourself, but it could also be situations and circumstances that are stopping you or keeping you from acting. The outcome is the Magician. It's a fantastic card, and Justice. So the Magician is manifestation, intention. It's electric energy. It's a male outgoing energy, so it's a very productive energy. But it is setting your intention. This is what I'm going to do. And as above, so below. What you think about, you bring about. The nice thing is, in this case, you really do have everything you need to get things done. The Magician on the negative side can be manipulation. And, well, it could be manipulation of energy for a good thing, because that's what magic is, and that's what intention is. Keeping your focus on what it is you want and not allowing it to waver. The Justice card with it is Karma card. So I would say in this case, be a little bit careful about where you are focusing, because this is a card of, again, what you think about, you bring about. The Justice card for me is a really interesting card where it reminds me, or I relate it to the Egyptian Book of the Dead. In one of the phases, you are to weigh your heart against a feather, and if your heart is as light as a feather, you can move forward. Otherwise, you cannot. And I think that relates to this very much. So he's carrying a sword. This is Libra card for me, so this is very much an air energy. And I think one of the things that's happening here as well is that your thinking is going to be a big part, and it's the center of the reading. It's going to be a big part of the outcome here. Yes, you want change. If you don't do anything, of course there'll be change. If you do something, there will be change. Change happens. That's just the way it is. But you can really affect it if you want to. And you can affect it with just your thought if you want to. I know a lot of people say you have to take a step. You do eventually, you do, but your your mental prowess, your mental energy always goes first. It's ahead of the physical. It's ahead of the taking action sort of thing, and it certainly should be if it isn't. But I do feel like you have to gather your thoughts. It's necessary to gather your thoughts right now. Even if you're not taking any physical action, it's really an important time to think about your next step, to think about what it is that you are willing to accomplish or to learn, or to add to your toolbox. What it is maybe you would like to share, what it is you'd like to receive, because the Six of Cups is half of the three. So somebody's receiving, somebody's giving. In this case, do you want to give something? Do you want to receive something? In this instance, how you're feeling is you don't know at the moment. And again, swords, the air, mentality, you don't know. But that will change. That's going to change soon. So it's almost like you get a sort of enlightenment. An idea drops. And you might be weighing your options or trying to decide the best way to go. The Justice card is what you give, you get. So if you give nothing, or you feel or you think that you cannot give anything, perhaps you won't receive anything. But things will change irregardless. It's better to be in charge of that energy than not to. Let's pull, what does Spirit want you to know? Four of Swords. This is a card of rest. It's a card of non-activity, so that's your second card of non-activity, along with the Eight of Swords. This is mental inaction. This is also mental inaction, but at the right time, you will pick up that fourth sword and get back in the game. But there is a need for rest here. There's definitely a need for mental rest, so I don't think you have to. I think Spirit is saying take the time right now if you want to. The interesting thing about the Four of Swords is that if you don't take the time yourself, the universe will help you. You might catch a cold. You might get overly tired. You might trip and hurt your knee and have to sit it out for a while, something like that. Nothing too crazy, but it's really time for you to take a mental break. Meditation would be great in any form that you can find. And I think it's a good time to, because the Four of Swords means that Spirit kind of has your back, so for now. So, take the time out if you want to do that. Your affairs are in accord with heaven. And I think that the Magician and the Justice card are a good indication that things will work out fair and probably the way you want them to. So if somebody's helping you out at the time, or helping you to finish tasks that you kind of leave at the moment, make sure that you reciprocate in any way that you feel that you can. Giving and receiving go hand in hand. Like the Four of Swords for you. It's a nice card, and I think in this deck it's very sweet. So I hope this reading was helpful. If you enjoyed it, go ahead, like, share, subscribe, you know the deal. I would also like to say that the deck that I'm using is the Little Buddha Tarot. It's a great little deck. It's by Push Kitty. Highly recommended. I really love it. And it, even in some of the darker cards, it brings a lot of joy. Again, I hope this has been helpful. See you next new moon. Thank you for watching, and have a good moon phase. Thanks. Bye.